Always kind of cool to watch and see what happens when a young coach with a stellar resume as an assistant gets a chance to run his own program like Eric Morris has. He played at Tech and then grew up in Mike Leach's air raid offense. Certainly some of those axioms are playing well at UIW as the team moves along in the FCS playoffs. Well, while at Tech, though, Coach Morris created a balanced offense that featured not only Patrick Mahomes, but he also had a 1,000-yard rusher to go along with Mahomes' 4,000-yard passing season. He also worked alongside a former New Braunfels star Kliff Kingsbury for a couple of years. That man, of course, now leading the Arizona Cardinals. And Coach Morris has tremendous insights on his own UIW quarterback and star in the making, Cameron Ward, but also how Mahomes has grown as a QB in the pros and Kliff as a head coach.
So what did you take from him during your time together? And then, were you able to impart some little nuggets of wisdom on him along the way?
Yeah, I think so. And too, Kliff, as always, had the best work ethic of anybody I've ever been around. A guy that would work extremely long hours, first guy there at 4 a.m. every morning, studied just a ton of film. And one thing I wanted to improve on is doing that, but then I wanted to be maybe a little bit better recruiting wise and be able to spend a little bit more time investing some of that time that he did game planning on really building relationships and being able to get these recruits in here and have a little bit more of a personal relationship with some people. And so yeah, a ton of stuff. Our practice setup is super similar to what he does, what he likes to do. And then the way we teach quarterbacks is mostly all stuff that I've taken from him.
Are you surprised at all of the success he's having in the NFL right now?
No, I've always thought his personality fit best in the in the NFL. I think that he's a professional in everything he does, well respect. I think he's a player's coach. I never thought he didn't love the discipline aspect of some of the things you have to do at the college level. And then, I think when you're at that level, you don't have to motivate on a different level. You have to threaten them with money, I guess. All those guys are motivated. So I think his personality fits best. I'm not surprised at all at how well he's doing.
All right, when you were recruiting Cameron Ward, what did you see that led you to believe that you could take what you were looking at the time and then, mold him into what we're seeing now and how he's developed and progressed?
Yeah, first of all, he was just a great thrower of the football. Just it came out of his hand really pure, really strong arm. And so when we got into it, and started recruiting him, he played in the triple option offense. And so he didn't have the film that kind of showed like some of these other kids do. So that hurt his recruiting. And then what we did is we watched him play other sports. We went and watched him play basketball. He's the all-time leading scorer in West Columbia history. He saw the floor really well. He had a great presence about himself. He was a great leader out there. So I think kind of when we put all those things together, we thought he had tools to be a superstar. And, but the one thing we didn't see is we never got to see him process information like he has to do in our offense on a football field. We had to kind of really recruit him and dig into him a little bit to see if we thought that would translate. The basketball deal helped us a lot. And so that's been one thing. He's super sharp. He's up here all the time. You tell him to play one time, he remembers it. He's incredible at processing information in real time on the field. So, it's kind of the perfect storm, but we definitely saw the raw talent evaluating him at camp.
Well, I'm going to ask you one thing about Patrick Mahomes. It's not like everybody in the country was coming after Patrick Mahomes at the time, but you particular were. What did you see? What is he doing now better now that even maybe that you thought he'd end up doing?
He's really cleaned up his footwork a lot, and it kind of taught I think that's one thing gets overlooked in quarterback play is actually their feet. A bunch of quarterbacks don't have their feet and their arms and their body kind of tied together. And so he had that problem. Now his problem was he was so talented. He could make some crazy throws from some crazy angles. So he just was lazy at times and didn't take time into really pouring into the mechanics of his feet. And so I think Andy Reid has done a great job at tying that in. And he still makes the crazy, play that's, out of the pocket, running left, throwing right, all that stuff. But I think in the pocket, his play and watching how he's tied everything together a lot more clean on just the normal routine, consistent plays is something he's really improved on.